good, y'all? Welcome back to the BlitzCity Podcast, where today we're going to be talking about the Southern Heritage Classic between Jackson State and Tennessee State, and my thoughts on it. First of all, I'm basically going to tell you the things that I liked, that I loved, and that I absolutely hated, because there's a lot that I have to say about this game in general. So let's just start wherever. First up, I hate the fact that nobody could find the game. I missed a whole half of football simply because I could not find the game. And then I had to go back and search hard for it just to watch the whole game to give you my analysis. Who's in charge of that? I don't know who's in charge of that, but I absolutely hated it. It was ghetto. Let me say that. It was ghetto. The fact that nobody could find the game is absolutely insane to me. It was hard to find on Facebook. It was hard to find on YouTube. I don't even think they had it on YouTube from the beginning of the game. I think it came on later. So absolutely hated that. And I can go on for days about that. But, that's in the past now. Whatever. As far as Jackson State, the defense is amazing. I love the defense. It's looking better than last year, because last year people would argue that they only had to rely on the front seven and that the secondary wasn't as good. That's not the case anymore. The secondary is strong. That front seven is still the strongest of the defense, but they don't have to do all the work now. K5 is going to be locked down. Travis, whenever he gets back, because I don't know what's going on with that, I'm anticipating him to be back next week. That's just me. But Travis is locked down. Nugget is still locked down. They had Jalen Hughes. I can go on for days. They have too many DBs to count, right? They are great. Niles Gaddy specifically, though, is somebody who I am very proud of. And I actually do want to make a film breakdown video on him if I can find some film from the Southern Heritage Classic, because again, it is very hard to find. Otherwise, I'll just do a film breakdown of the OBC. But the fact that it's 2 weeks in a row, his presence has been felt. The fact that he was able to get 4 sacks in a game is crazy to me. Now, a lot of people have been rooting for Niles Gaddy and have been telling us since the offseason that Niles Gaddy was going to be what he's being right now. And I have to give him credit for that. So my boy DJ Raw Uncut Truth goes by Raw Truth Media now, DJ Raw Truth Media. He said that. Ken warned y'all. Zoe warned y'all. They said Niles Gaddy was going to be the it guy. Even my boy Big Mike, shout out to Big Mike. He's one of the OG subscribers, the members, channel members as well. He even told me Niles Gaddy gonna be on it, and I was like, okay, we'll see. Even I was sleeping on him a little bit. No, Niles Gaddy is different. And the turnaround he made from year 1 to year 2 is absolutely spectacular. And it's something that I have not seen in a while. And that brings me to my next point. With first James Houston, now Niles Gaddy, at what point are we going to stop saying that Jackson State can't develop players and that they only get talent? Because those are 2 players now who we are seeing who's up their game after being in that Jackson State system. So let's stop that narrative right there. But as for the rest of the defense, absolutely crazy. And keep in mind, they are playing without 3 of their starters. Absolutely incredible effort by the defense. To me, they're going to be the driving force again for this team. That's just who they are. They are a defensive team. Coach Thurman is one of the best in the business. I cannot say enough about how great they were. So I love them. What I hate, the referees. Something has to change with the SWAC referees, because this is absolutely horrible. Let me say this. That QB sneak by Shador, that was a touchdown. That fumble over the red zone, when he crossed the goal line, that's a touchdown. These refs, and I know a lot of y'all gonna disagree with me, but the Tennessee State player, man, I didn't like that call either. That was a horrible call for the targeting, to be honest with you. The refs are horrible. The refs are horrible. And this kind of reffing by the SWAC referees cannot continue, because that's a scary thing. Like, imagine being in a close game with Southern or a close game with Campbell or in the SWAC championship, and it comes down to incompetent referees who don't even know what a touchdown is. You feel me? Like, that scares me. So something needs to change about that. I never thought we'd have to be having this conversation another year in, after what it was last year. And last but not least, the offense. Let me say this about Tennessee State. We knew Tennessee State was not a bad team. I mean, they went into the number 13 team in the country. They went into their house and almost came out with that victory. They were one possession away. So this isn't a sorry school that Jackson State struggled against. With that being said, I think Tennessee State was very, very physical. A lot like kind of resembling South Carolina State in the Celebration Bowl. They were that kind of physical, but at the same time, you can't tell me that offense didn't shoot themselves in the foot, because please tell me how you can make 6 red zone trips, and it might be more, but that's what I caught on to. 6 red zone trips and no touchdowns? Or 1 touchdown was or something? No, I don't think they scored any touchdowns. In 6 red zone trips? That's absolutely despicable. And I know Coach Prime is going to fix that. Again, some of that wasn't even on them. It was just a bad refereeing with those fumbles and, the QB sneak. But still, even if you take away those 4 red zone trips and no touchdowns, that's a problem. That's a problem that needs to be fixed. Too much receivers. It looks like they just weren't on one accord. But I will also be fair to them and say this. Good teams have a bad game. Period. It's only week 2. Good teams have a bad game. We've seen what they were at their best, right? Or something like that versus FAMU. So I don't think, this 16-point game is just who they really are. Good teams have bad games. It happened all across the landscape of college football. Texas A&M getting upset. Alabama almost getting upset. All of these good teams, they just had bad games. They're just uncharacteristic games. So I'm not going to hold that against them as much as people would have you believe that it should be held against them. Willie Gaines. Man, that's the great thing about having so much depth at receiver. When the main guys wasn't getting it going, Willie Gaines, being who he is, the dog that he is, receiver room full of dogs, he came up with the great catch. One that's going to be on the BlitzCity Top 10, by the way. Keep a lookout for that. But those are my thoughts. If you disagree, if you agree, if you want to add on to what I said, let me know down in the comments below. I have the BlitzCity Top 10 plays dropping today, and I also have an interview with Esaias Guthrie, former safety of Delaware State, one of the top safeties in HBCU football. He's in the transfer portal. He already picked up an offer from Alcorn, already South Carolina State, already another school. Could Jackson State be on that list? Find out. Be on the interview, see why he's deciding to leave Delaware State. 8 p.m. tonight. Be there. Eastern time, of course, because I am in South Carolina. With that being said, BlitzCity Podcast, I'm your host, Kobe Orr, and I'm out. Peace.